Dolphins fans, welcome into Dolphins Today. I am Will Scott talking about the latest Dolphins news and rumors, and it has obviously been a wild last 24 hours, which is why I don't want this bit of news to get lost in the smoke. Yesterday, the Dolphins released Adam Butler, a defensive tackle who played all 17 games last season for the Dolphins. They released him after a failed physical. They have activated Elijah Campbell. Campbell was one of two players, along with Byron Jones, that was placed on the PUP list prior to training camp. He is now back. He'll be practicing with the team today. But I do want to revisit the penalties that the Dolphins were given. And look, you can believe that Stephen Ross is a terrible owner, that he was wrong and that he should be suspended for this, while also believing that the penalties the Dolphins were given were far too harsh. In fact, they were more severe than the Spygate penalties that the New England Patriots received. And Spygate was far worse than this. This was just tampering, not to mention they tampered with two guys that they didn't even get. Spygate, they had all this evidence the Patriots were using video cameras to spy on opposing teams. They got less penalties than the Dolphins received for the tampering. And I also think it's wild that Tom Brady is not going to face consequences for this. Tom Brady knew this was wrong. In fact, it might have been Tom Brady's idea all along. He might have approached his good friend Bruce Beal and was like, hey, I want to play one more year, but not with the Bucs. I want to play with the Dolphins. It is very possible this was Tom Brady's idea all along, and the Dolphins just kind of went along with it. The fact that Brady was not even fined for this is just egregious because he has been linked to a lot of controversies in the past couple of years, obviously, with Spygate, Deflategate, tampering now, as NFL on CBS said. Here's what they said on Facebook. There's been 3 instances in NFL history where a team was forced to forfeit a first-round pick, and all involved Tom Brady or his team. So enough about the penalties. Let's get into some trade rumors. But before we do, I want y'all to go down, subscribe to the channel. If you want Dolphins news, Dolphins rumors, and more, go down, hit that big red subscribe button. Well, speaking of rumors, we have some trade rumors to discuss because Preston Williams 2 days ago tweeted this out. Just one opportunity, hashtag shaking my head. Unbelievable. What is your one-word reaction to the tweet? Go down in the comment section and let me know. It is the pinned comment on today's video, so when an ad break comes, go down, chime in. What's your one-word reaction to the Preston Williams tweet? My one word is immature. I mean, Preston, you're a professional football player, and you're sounding like an 8th grader that didn't make his high school football team. He's trying out for high school football team and didn't make it after 8th grade. I mean, really, man, you're sounding very immature. You're a professional football player, and you're tweeting something like this out. Look, go to the coach. Go to Coach McDaniel. Go to the GM, Chris Greer, if you want to express your disappointment, which he might have done, but also doing that and tweeting this out is very immature. And I think he's frustrated because look at this wide receiver depth chart. There's a lot of wide receivers that the Dolphins have brought in. Tyreek Hill, Cedrick Wilson, Eric Ezukama, they drafted him. They bring in River Craycraft. So there's a lot of guys, including Mohamed Sanu, that the Dolphins have brought in. Preston does not feel like he's getting the opportunities at practice. Here is what he's done in the first 3 seasons of his career. 24 games played, 56 receptions, 787 yards, 7 touchdowns. So just 24 games played. He's played in 8 games each of his first 3 seasons in the league. The guy can't stay on the field. Here's what he said at his press conference yesterday after practice. And he doubled down on his tweet, which was a little bit surprising. I just feel like I'm not getting the opportunities that I deserve, not being on the field wise. Opportunities show that I can beat my man. Me and Mike McDaniel had a conversation back at OTAs, and the one specific thing I asked him was, I want my opportunities. He said, you'll get your opportunity. I just want to make him a man of his word. That's all. Preston, really, man? I mean, who do you think you are? You're not Tyreek Hill. You're not one of the best wide receivers in football. You're sounding like you're not Preston Williams. We'll say that. You're Preston Williams, man, saying, oh, I want to make Coach McDaniel a man of his word. This is just a really bad look. It's a really, really bad look. One of the other things he was asked at his press conference yesterday was about requesting a trade. They asked him, have you requested a trade? He said, I haven't asked for anything, but I've definitely talked with my agent. So a Preston Williams trade, certainly something to monitor. Omar Kelly tweeted this yesterday. I've been hit up by 2 NFL teams asking about Preston Williams, so don't assume there is an interest. People are monitoring this situation. Do you want to trade Preston Williams? Type T for trade or type P for pass. Down in the comments section, go down, chime in. Williams in trade rumors after what's transpired in the last couple of days. I'm typing my T for trade. Move on from this guy. I mean, you don't need him. You're absolutely loaded at wide receiver. Pretty evident to me that he doesn't want to be there. He's complaining. And what's wild is, you see a couple times where a player will tweet something out and then delete the tweet and then apologize for the tweet the next day. He has doubled down multiple times. He has not deleted the tweet. It's a bad look, and I know Mike McDaniel has, I don't know if defending Williams would be the right word, but he's come out and said he's going to support Preston through this. I would move on from Williams. Here are some teams that might be interested. Chicago Bears desperately need receiver help. They're so desperate they traded for N'Keal Harry. The Atlanta Falcons, Calvin Ridley's out the whole year. They could use a wide receiver. The Broncos with the Patrick injury might be in the market for one, as well as the Chiefs and the Cowboys. And I saw this interesting tweet the other day from, I believe, a Cowboys fan who said this: Preston Williams displayed some Andre Johnson-esque receiving skills in his rookie season before he got hurt. Dallas would be wise to send a second-round pick to Miami and get the deal done ASAP. Yes, please, Dallas. Send us a second-round pick, and you can have Preston Williams by the end of the day. By the end of the day, you have this. You can get this by the end of the day. Chatsports.com/Dolphins combo, because this deal, as we've talked about a lot on Dolphins Today, it expires at the end of the day. I'm hearing that from my bosses. Go down, take advantage. You can get both of these T-shirts, not per, both of these T-shirts for $28. Great deal we're giving you here on Dolphins Today. That's the link. Go get it. You got until midnight Eastern time. Chatsports.com/Dolphins combo. Another guy along with Williams that has been in trade rumors is Teven Jenkins. We heard this from Ian Rapoport earlier this week. The Bears have received calls and have held trade talks centered around offensive tackle Teven Jenkins, sources tell me, and Mike Garafolo. The former second-round pick has drawn interest based on his potential, a situation to watch. Garafolo followed with this: as is often the case, a new regime is much more willing to part with draft picks they didn't make. Obviously, the Bears have a new GM, new head coach. We'll see what happens with the Bears and Teven Jenkins. Now, do you want to trade for Teven Jenkins? He is a right tackle. The Dolphins could desperately use some offensive line help. Type Y for yes or type N for no. Down in the comment section, go down, let me know. So he was the 39th overall pick in the 2021 draft out of Oklahoma State. Missed most of his rookie season due to lingering back issues. So he played left tackle last season, but his natural position is the right tackle position. So that is what the Dolphins need. Teron Armstead is their left tackle. Jenkins is their right tackle. Jenkins can be their right tackle. That would be huge if the Dolphins are able to make a trade for Jenkins, who the Bears are apparently shopping. Now, there is a report that maturity with Jenkins is a concern. That was somewhat of the case at Oklahoma State. That was a concern when he entered the draft. That is a concern when maybe trading for him now, because this is what David Kaplan, who covers the Chicago Bears, reported the other day. What I'm hearing is that there is a high level of disconnect between Teven and the new coaching staff, especially Chris Morgan, the new offensive line coach. That means you have a highly immature player, has a lot of talent. As one person who would know, who's close to the team, said to me, he's their most talented lineman, but I'm also hearing that he's wildly immature. That coming from David Kaplan. So, yes, he did have some maturity, character concerns at Oklahoma State. He's been a no-show the last 4 Chicago Bears practices. Matt Eberflus, the head coach, said that it's nothing to do with the maturity concerns, nothing to do with him just sitting out. He says he's working through something with the trainer. Pretty evident to me that Jenkins needs a fresh start. We see that with a lot of guys. They go and have a fresh start somewhere and they start to play a lot better. Jenkins needs a fresh start, and Miami is the perfect fit. You talk about the culture that Mike McDaniel is building in Miami. It would be a great place for Jenkins to get a fresh start to his NFL career, someone who has so much potential still on an NFL offensive line. Now, when you're looking at the Dolphins' offensive line, yes, a lot of us are very nervous about the current outlook of this offensive line. You have Austin Jackson right now at right tackle, who really struggled last year at left guard, struggled the previous year at left tackle. because look at his PFF grades. So last year at left guard, he was one of the worst ranked guards by PFF, a 49.9 grade, 52.3 grade the previous year at right tackle. I think it's time for the Dolphins to maybe move on from Austin Jackson. Do you believe in Austin Jackson? Type B for believe or type D for don't. Down in the comments section, go down. Let me know what you think about Austin Jackson, who right now is slated to be the right tackle. But if you trade for Jenkins, this is what your offensive line would look like. A second-round pick would be protecting to his blind side. I would feel much more comfortable with Jenkins at right tackle, and then you would have Teron Armstead on the left side as your left tackle. Now, I threw this interesting trade idea together, and I want to get your thoughts on it in a second. But I love this trade. It makes too much sense not to happen. Dolphins receive Teven Jenkins in a 6th-round pick. Bears receive Preston Williams and Austin Jackson. The Bears need receiver help. You'd send them an offensive tackle back for an offensive tackle in Teven Jenkins. The Dolphins would also be getting a 6th-round pick. Would you do this trade? Type D for deal or type ND for no deal. Down in the comments section, go down. Let me know if you would pull off this trade for Teven Jenkins. I would do it in a heartbeat. Thanks for watching this edition of Dolphins Today. Appreciate y'all watching the show. Stay tuned tomorrow for some more training camp news.